So you have a shape like this. Okay, and they are mentioned what is your x and y coordinate, right? So which means I have to identify whatever the centroid only based on that particular location, right? I can't fix it, right? I can't fix my x and y directly. So because it is mentioned, so if it is mentioned, you have to identify only with respect to that. So to solve this, right? So they are mentioned first. Look at the axis. My axis is mentioned here. So this is my axis. This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. That is already given, right? So only based on this, you have to do that. Okay, right. So can you imagine how many shapes will be there for this particular image?
Three, sir.
Three. Very good. So it is three shapes. One is a rectangle, right? One is a rectangle. And if I look at the dimension of my rectangle, right? My base is 60 and my height is 60 plus 60, 120. Now I'm going to subtract a semicircle in this, right? A semicircle like this, right? So my semicircle is at the radius of 60, right? So I will draw it here separately. So we have a semicircle here, right? Which is 60. This one I have to subtract. This one I have to add.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, I have a doubt, sir.
yes, please.
Sir, isn't this a square, sir? Because even in this side, we get another 16, no, sir, in the base.
No, no, if I put a square, I can't subtract this term. This area, no, it is difficult to
Okay, sir.
subtract.
Okay. Yes, sir, understand, sir.
Yeah, so that is why we are not considering that. Yeah. So now what I can do is I can add this part, right? I can add one more part here, which is a semicircle like this, right? Addition, right? So another semicircle, which is like this, which is plus, right? Addition. Of course, that is also 60. Radius is 60, right? So I want to concentrate on three shapes, right? One rectangle, and two quarter circles. It is not semicircle, sorry. It is a quarter circle, two quarter circles, right? This is how you have to do it. Okay. So I made a tabulation here, right? So this is my tabulation with respect to that. So this is my x bar, this is my y bar, ax bar, and by bar, right? Everything is here, right? So we will put one by one. So first I have to draw my axis. So my axis is here. My rectangle is on the other side. Okay, so my rectangle. So when you look at the rectangle, so rectangle is here, right? So like this, right? So you know what is the base? So base of the rectangle is 60, height is 120. I'll write it here. So base is 60, height is 120, right? So now you know what is the area and other things. You can do one by one, but make sure your axis is here. So your rectangle is in second quadrant. Based on that, you have to put negatives and positives. Okay, area is positive, right? Your area is positive, right? So base into height, right? So area is base into height, which means I can write it here. So which is equal to, right? So I can write a 60 into 120, right? I can write. So you'll get 7,001. That is my value, right? So this is my first step. Okay. So next, x bar. So look at x bar. So x bar has to be here, which is minus b by 2. Why I put minus? Because it means second quadrant, right? In second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. So that's why I put minus b by 2. So minus b by 2 is minus 60 by 2, right? Which is minus 30. right? Next, y bar. If I consider y bar, second quadrant, positive, h by 2, right? H by 2 is 120 by 2, which is 60, right? Now I can identify what is my AX bar. So AX bar is 7200 into minus 30, right? So what will get? We'll get minus 216,000, right? This is the value of my A into X bar. Similarly, if I want A into Y bar, right? A into Y bar, it is 7200 into 60, right? So what we're getting? We're getting 432,000, right? Any doubt in the first step?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we'll go for the next one. Right? This is important. And I'm going to subtract this part, right? So this is my part. So I have a semicircle like this. So this is my semicircle. R is equal to 60. R is equal to 60, right? So I got my semicircle. And it is a negative term, right? Because I'm going to subtract this. Okay. So area is pi r square by 4, right? It is pi r square by 4. So of course you have to put minus, indicating that I am going to subtract it. Okay. So in that case, so what is my area here? Right, minus 3.14 into R is 60 into 60 divided by 4. So I'm getting minus 2826. Right? So you're getting minus 2826. Right? Next X bar. X bar is in negative. So minus 4R by 3 pi. Right? So X bar is negative, it is minus 4R by 3 pi. So in that case, we will get minus, right? So 4 into 60 divided by 3 into 3.5. Right? So the value, so what we'll get is minus 25.477. Right? This is my value with respect to this. Right? Next, y bar. Y bar is positive. So y bar is positive, which means 4R by 3 pi. Right? So we will get the same thing. Right? We will get positive value 25.47. Right? Now area. So A into X bar. So A into X bar is so minus 2826 into minus 25.477. Make sure both are negative. So automatically it becomes positive, right? So you will get so 71998.00, right? So both are negative. So negative minus into minus, you will get plus. So similarly, this one, so minus 2826 into 25.47, right? So this will be a negative term. So minus 71978. So same value, you can able to see the difference, lots of difference, right? Because of that one decimal point, right? So in the 7 pota, you difference it, right? You be careful in that. Okay, mostly you follow 3 decimal points, which will be better. Okay, right. So this part is also over, right? So if I consider this third part, so I can able to see that the third part is here, which is 60 mm radius. Okay, so you can able to see that it is in first quadrant. It is in first quadrant. So I have to draw it somewhere here. This is my part. Okay, this is my part. So somewhere here. we have this quarter circle. Okay, so you can able to see here, right? So this is my little bit of quarter circle. So whatever it is. So to know that the radius of this quarter circle R is 60, and you can able to see that this is having an offset distance, right, with respect to y. So it is having an offset distance, right? What is that offset distance? So it is 60, right? So it is 60. Okay. So now let us identify what is the area, right? It is positive. Actually, I have to add this. Okay. So if I want to identify what is my area, it is pi r squared by 4, right? That is the formula identify what is area. So which means you will get 3.14 into r squared, 16 into 60 divided by 4, right? So you get 2826. So whatever we got in previous step, same thing, right? But it is adding, right? So next, if I want to identify what is my x bar, so you know that x bar is nothing but no offset distance, so 4r by 3 pi. So the x bar is 4r by 3 pi, right? I'm going to apply it directly. So which means I can able to get it as 4 into 60 divided by 3 pi. So whatever we got at the top, same thing, right? So what you'll get? You'll get 25.477. Same thing. So 4r by 3 pi. Okay, right. So here, this one, if I consider your y-axis, right, y bar, it is having an offset distance of 60, offset distance 60, plus, so your 4r by 3 pi is from the base. That is, this is my 4r by 3 pi. This one is 4r by 3 pi. So, but you know that the total distance is r. In that case, this distance is nothing but r minus 4r by 3 pi. Right? It is r minus 4r by 3 pi. So that has to be here included. So 60 plus r minus, so 4r by 3 pi. So this is what I will get. Right? So what you get? You are getting 94.53. So I write it here. So 16 plus 16 minus 4 into 60 divided by 3. So this is 5. Right? So you are getting 19.5. Okay. Right. Now we can multiply it. So a into this one. Right? We can able to get what is the value here. Right? So it is 2826 into 25.477. Right? So you get, so around 719 will get 0.002. Next, similarly, here again, so 2826 into 94.5. Right? So you get, so 2617141.7. This is the value. Now, what I can do, I can just add all my terms. Right? So, what are the terms I have? So, sigma A. Right? This is sigma A. So, what is the sigma A? Right? Sigma A is, so 7200 plus 2826 minus 2826. Right? So totally I will get 720 sigma A x bar. So what I will get? This is negative, this is positive, both are positive, right? With a minus into minus plus. Okay. So minus, so minus 21600. Minus 21600. Right? 7199 plus 71998 plus 71998. So what is the value you are getting? Minus 72004, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So okay, this is my value. Right. So let me consider A into Y bar. Right. So what is your A into Y bar? So if I consider A into Y bar, so 43200. 43200. Right. Minus. So for 71978. I am approximating it. Okay. So plus 26714.
Sir, 627164.
627164. Positive value. Right? Now that's it. So now what I can do, I can identify what is my values. Capital X bar is sigma A into small x bar divided by sigma A is equal to minus 72004 divided by 7200. So what is the value? Similarly, capital Y bar is equal to sigma A into small y bar divided by sigma E is equal to 627164 divided by 7300. Right? What is your capital X bar and what is your capital Y bar?
X bar minus 10, sir.
So X bar is minus 10. Y bar is right? So my values, right, is minus 10, minus 10, 87.1. So it is somewhere here. This is my centroid location, right? So this distance is 10, right? And this distance is 87.1. So make sure I am not putting minus 10 because I am marking this in negative axis, right? So it's a positive. Okay. So like marking it in negative, right? And this is positive, right? So this is my point. Right? Either you can draw this rough sketch and you can denote it. That is your capital X bar and capital Y bar, or you can stop here itself. Depends on your. It's your wish, right? It depends. So sometimes, if the problem is a critical problem, in that case, you better you draw and show, right? So that it is easy to understand, right? So if it is a direct problem, something like that, you can show only the values that is, right? I will tell you where you have to mark it, right? So even though I am marking for everything, there are some cases where you have to show that, right? Where your axis is not at the quadrant. Mostly that case, you have to mark and show. So here also, so actually I have to fix this as my axis, right? So if I consider correctly, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. I want to fix it like this. I want to fix the entire shape in first quadrant, right? If that is the case, you don't need to draw the diagram. You can directly show what is the values. That is it. But if your axis is mentioned, it is given in the question, right? It is different. So a small part of the portion is in a negative axis, small part of the portion is a positive axis, something like that. Better you draw and show. Okay, or this is very capital. That is the location of your capital S bar and capital Y. Okay. Right. Okay, so it looks somewhat like a figure which is like a parabolic shape where you have to identify what is your centroid location, right? So what I can do, I can use this, right? What I can do, I can split this, right? So I split it. You can clearly understand there are three shapes here, right? One is a triangle, right? One is a triangle, Okay, it is positive triangle. I'm going to add it. Next is a square. Right, so you have a square. Right, of course, that is also addition one. Next is a quarter circle. Right, that is subtracting. Right, when you do that, you can able to get the shape. Right, so addition, a full square addition, and subtraction of this quarter circle. Right, you get the shape. Okay, so there are 3 sections here. So for these 3 sections, I have to mark it out and I have to mention what is the values. Right? Okay, so for this particular sections, let me identify what is my dimensions. Right? So if I identify what is my dimensions, you're able to see that my triangle has a base of 120 mm and the height of my triangle is 75. Right? My square, of course, so it is 75 and 75. My quarter circle, of course, you know that the radius of my quarter circle is r, which is equal to 70. Okay, so these are the 3 portions which you have to concentrate. Right? So we will do it one by one. So you can able to see that the entire section is fixed in my first quadrant. So no need to worry so whether your x bar or y bar will be a negative or positive, right? So only your area will be negative. So rather than you want to subtract. Okay, all right. So we'll go one by one. So in this axis, right, you have a triangle. So my triangle is something like this. Right, this is my triangle. Okay, so this is my base. This is my height. So I can write it here. B is equal to 120. H is equal to 75. It is given. Right? It is given. So we will identify that. So area. What is the area? It is half into base into height. Half into base into height. So which means 1 half into 120 into 75. Right? So you will get what is the answer for us. So what you are getting?
4,500.
4,500.
Yeah, 4,500. So you are getting 4,500. So let's go for X bar. So if I go for X bar, so X bar from the apex you are going to identify. It means 2/3 of B. The formula will be 2/3 of B, right? So it means 2/3 into 120, right? So what will get? So I think I will get 80. Right, so we'll get cancelled, we'll get 40. So 40 into 2, so we'll get 80. Right? So similarly, I will identify what is my Y bar. So if I consider Y bar from the base, which means h/3. If it is from the base, it is h/3, which is 75/3. Right? So what you will get?
25.
20. Yeah, 25. You will get 25. Right? Now you can multiply this. So what is A into X bar and what is A into Y bar? Right? You can directly substitute. Right? So you will for instance 0 into 80. 60000. Similarly, 4500 into 25. 11250. Right? These are my values. Right? So the next step is I'll go for the next one. So I'll go for this square. Right? I have the square. Okay. So let me draw the square here. So this is my square. Okay. So you know that I will call A, which is equal to 75, because both are 75, right? So this is also 75, this is also 75. But this square is having an offset distance. x-axis it is offset, right? So what is the offset distance? So after the triangle only you are having this square, which means your offset distance is 120, right? So your offset distance is 120, right? Okay. Now, so area of the square, which is a square, right? Which is 75 into 75. What is the value?
5625.
So 5625. Good. So we got what is our area. Next, x bar. X bar is offset distance of 120 plus. So the square, rectangle, both are same. It is half of the total distance, which is 75 by 50. Right? So what is the value?
157.5.
So getting 157.5. Next, y bar, it is just nothing but 75 by 2. Right? So 75 by 2 is 37.5. Right. So now what I can do, I can identify what is the values of just add it. So multiply this. So get 5625 into 157.5. Get this value similarly. 5625 into 37.5. Okay. Right? Sketch for this. Now you have a quarter circle which I have to subtract it. Okay, so this is my quarter circle. So it is somewhere here, right? So this is my quarter circle. Or something like this, right? So quarter circle, something like this. So you have radius. So radius is 75. Right, radius is 75, and you can able to see that it is not offset to y-axis, but it is offset to x-axis. Right, same as like your square. So what is the offset distance? Your offset distance is 120 mm. Right, yes, 120 offset. Okay. Okay. So now we'll proceed with the same thing, but this is a negative one because I'm going to subtract it. Okay. So in that case, so your area is minus 5r squared by 4. So nothing but minus 5 into 75 squared divided by 4. What is the value?
4417.8.
4417.8. Right? This is my area. Right? Next, if I want to identify, right, what is your centroid locations? Right? X bar is having an offset distance of 120 plus. So from the base it is 4r by 3 pi. So from the curve it is r minus 4r by 3 pi. We know that it's r minus 4r by 3 pi. Right? Which means I can write as 120 plus r is 75 minus 4 into 75 divided by 3 pi. Right? What is the value?
163.16.
So I'm getting 163.16. Good. Now your y bar is also same. So y bar is also r minus 4r by 3. R minus 4r by 3. Which means again 75 minus 4 into 75 divided by 3. Right? So what is the value for 43.16? Good. So now what I can do, I can identify what is the addition of the areas. 4417.8 into 163.16. So what is the value? Similarly, 4417.8 into 43.16. 11. Right? So any doubt up to this? I think I missed something. So negative sign I missed. So in that case, so next. Now, what I can do, I can add it. Let me say that sigma f, sigma a. So, right, so 4500 plus 5625 minus 4417.8. So what is the value of it? 9,707. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, so you can identify sigma A into x bar. So do that. 60000 plus 85937 minus 7208.
That's 5,707.
Yes, sir. Area
Which
on
one?
5,000 area.
Okay. This one. Okay. So 5,707. So what about this one?
Sir, 525,129, sir.
525,129. Okay. So this is my sigma A into x bar. So okay, similarly sigma A into y bar. So to identify, it is 112500. 112500 plus 10937. 10937 minus 190672. 232765. Okay, good. So now we can proceed with what is our new values. Capital X bar. Capital X bar is sigma A into small x bar divided by sigma A. So which is equal to 525129 divided by 57075. Okay, so value. Similarly, capital Y bar is equal to sigma A into small y bar divided by sigma A. Is equal to 132,765 divided by 5,706. Right? So find out what is the values of capital X bar and capital Y bar. So X bar is 92 mm. So this is 23.6. Right? You can able to see that. So the X bar is 92. Something here. Okay. So approximately. Right, you can, if you want, you can mark it. Okay, head out of this.